Welcome to Midlife Unlimited, the podcast for women who want more. I'm your host, Kate Porter, the Midlife Metamorphosis Coach, and I'm delighted and rather excited too to be joined by my episode 66 guest, the wonderful Victoria Hamilton, identity and style coach, to give a taste of our full length audio episode that's available now wherever you get your podcasts, how to get dressed for it. So welcome, Victoria. It is wonderful to have you here.
It's wonderful to be here. How exciting that we get to talk about this all over again.
Well, I know, and I've got a little bit of a show and tell coming up in a minute. It's well, I'm quite excited. I don't know if anyone else watching is going to be excited, but which is what it's all about, isn't it? It's about awakening that excitement. We talk about dressing up boxes. We talk about ripping up the rule book. We talk about maybe experimenting with trends, but not getting hooked on them because
Very
it's
important.
not frivolous, is it?
It's not
Frivolous,
frivolous.
frivolous.
It's not. And I think that sometimes is a bit of a problem when it comes to either thinking about our style or potentially thinking about working with a stylist, that we're like, oh well, it's just clothes. It's just, I'm just going to work, or I'm only sat at home all day, or I'm only walking the dog, or all of these things we put in our way of actually it's not frivolous. We get dressed, and I say this on the podcast, unless you're a nudist, do you,
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
we get dressed for it every day, whether that's Pilates, whether that's boardrooms, whether it's, coming and doing speaking opportunities with yourself on your podcast and now on your YouTube channel. We get dressed every single day. And if we can't make that fun and pleasurable and joyful, then what are we doing?
No, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I will give an example, right? Up until about half an hour ago, I was obviously our episode's out today, available
Yes.
wherever you get your podcasts. So I've been sitting here in my Mickey Mouse hoodie that's lovely and warm, doing all my social media bits and bobs with a big cup of coffee. But half an hour ago, no, that came off, and I put on leopard print that I've been wearing since I was about 18, not this very jumper. Put my earring, and I was like, I feel rather fabulous. And it is
Exactly.
that transformation. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of talk of dopamine dressing, which I love, but it's just a simple mental switch. And I do it for me. I do it for me.
Oh, it is. I mean, obviously, when we recorded the podcast, that one wasn't recorded, but I still came as
Yeah.
me. I still had, a bright pink jumper on with my leopard print on. Today I've got sort of,
Oh, I
my
think
pink
I
because it
took
makes
a screenshot
me,
for the Facebook group, didn't I? We were
yeah,
double leopard print. Yeah.
you were double leoparding. And it's not necessarily then about getting dressed for somebody else. It's about getting dressed for you. So I know that today, coming on here and speaking with you, I could easily, turn up still in my pajamas, my hoodie, and we would have a brilliant chat. But I wouldn't feel as though I was giving myself the best start of that conversation. So I know that by, putting on something that makes me feel a 10, which I talk about in the podcast and all the time, this is one of my 10 jumpers. I love it. I love the color. I love the zip. It's got a little pearl detailing on it. I love the
I love
color of it.
the colours.
Everything
Yeah.
about it makes me feel so much more prepared for
Mm.
our conversation because I'm ready, which is why I say about getting dressed for it. What are you getting dressed for? If it's the dog walk, great, put a massive dry robe on. That's what you need it for. Using fashion and clothing for every identity in your life is so important because it really helps shift your state of mind. It helps, give you better body language. You present yourself better, you sit better yourself, and you can notice that energetic feeling. If you're wearing something you love, it's wonderful. If I was sat here on a YouTube video going out on your channel in my, hoodie, which is super snuggly and super
Yeah.
warm and has its uses, I wouldn't feel my best, and I wouldn't be able to, give you that, or give your viewers that as well. So when we talk about it being frivolous, it really isn't. It is about a state of mind for the day ahead of you. And if you can wear something that's going to make you feel 10 times better than something else, why would you not do that?
No, absolutely. And we'll talk as well, definitely about your power of 10, because I love that. And also about accessorizing, because you just mentioned dog walks. But I find as well a little zhuzh that can make you feel, and you're doing it for you, is yes, put your dry robe on, but put a funky hat on or something like that, because that just gives you a little bit of spark. Now, I did mention I've got a show and tell.
Yes.
Drum roll, please. And it's not anything rude, don't worry, viewers. But because when we had our little brainstorm, we were talking about trends. And obviously, leopard print's something I've been wearing for God knows how many years now, more than I care to mention, but I still love it. But you did mention a trend, and I thought, oh, because it's all about having a bit of fun, isn't it?
It
So,
is.
grand reveal. I'm going to knock over my screen now.
Da-da-da-da-da.
I'm going now. Obviously, I wouldn't wear the two together, but I have. It's a bit of fun. It wasn't a massive investment because I do pre-loved.
Yeah,
It was on a shopping website beginning with V. Others are available. Secondhand, pre-loved. Wouldn't go out double animal print, but you said, and I thought, oh yes,
I
dear
love it.
print.
I absolutely love it. And I think because you do love animal print, adding this one in, it doesn't feel as though you're leaning too much into a trend. You're wearing it because it's part of your style identity. It's part of who you are. And actually, you could definitely wear the double animal print for sure. The colours
Woohoo.
tone in nicely. Animal print is actually a neutral. So,
Leopard print,
it will
definitely.
go
I
with
wear it. I wear
everything.
leopard print with tartan, for goodness
Oh, it's
sake.
perfect. I love it. If you can print match or print clash in a way that feels authentic to you, that's all that matters, isn't it?
I do love a clash. I do
Yeah.
love a clash. And I
Well,
have been
I
dabbling in.
love your show and tell. Thank you.
Oh, I'm going to keep it on because it is nice and snuggly.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually thinking to myself, even I mean, we're January just, so I should get. It came yesterday. I should get some wear out of it.
Oh, definitely.
But if not, it's rather nice just for sitting here as a bit of an alternative to my Mickey Mouse hoodie. But I say the power of 10. We can have fun within that, but obviously we go into it in great detail in the audio podcast. But for those viewers who haven't got time for a full length podcast, who would rather join us as we're sitting here looking rather wonderful on a Thursday morning, talk us through it. It's about creating a bank of outfits, really, isn't it? So we're going against the I've got nothing to wear. Oh, it doesn't fit. I feel frumpy. Is it age appropriate? Will
Oh,
someone
don't
say
start
I
on that
look
one.
like mutton dressed as lamb?
Yep.
Amanda, looking forward to joining you on the Mutton March on the 21st of March, even. Yeah, details, look at my posts. Power 10, what are we talking about?
So it really is the
You're stroking
answer
myself.
to all of those questions. Yeah. Especially on the days where you don't feel as though you have anything to wear. And we talk on the podcast, don't we, about it's never really about having nothing to wear. It's about having the wrong things in your wardrobe, or you've outgrown that identity of what you already own. But what the power of 10 allows you to do is focus on a style system, and it tries to remove some of the emotion out of it, because I think that's where we get caught up a lot of the
Oh,
time, is in the emotion of something. Either you've been told you shouldn't wear something, as a child, that we've brought up into adulthood, and we talk a lot about that on shoulds in the pod as well. But it also allows you to put emotion ahead of actually what you're truly wanting to achieve by your outfit. So today, for example, I'm thinking, right, okay, I need to feel confident today. I want to feel colourful. I want to feel all of these emotions. And I'm like, right, but how can I put that into an outfit? So I use this style system with all of my clients, and even people who follow me now will drop into my DMs and say, oh, I thought of you at the weekend. I bought this dress because it felt an 8. And they then use that in their buying purchases. So it actually creates some real stability around what we wear, what we buy, what we remove from our wardrobe, without it attaching to emotions. So essentially, it's about assigning a number to an outfit. So the emotions coming a little bit, because what I want people to think about is actually how they feeling something. So as I said, today, this jumper for me is a 10. It hits all of my style needs and style values. So that is a perfect jumper to put on today. If I, for example, just put on another old jumper. It might have some holes in it, might be a bit worn. I might just feel a 4. And
Mm.
instantly that change in my body language, body posture, how I communicate has a massive effect on how I'm presenting myself that day. So if I turned
Yeah.
up here talking to you about, the power of 10 and how to feel fantastic and getting dressed for it, yet I was sitting here in a 4 outfit, that energetic shift would be very, very different.
Yeah.
So by assigning numbers to clothing, and by this I mean outfits, not just
Mm.
one particular item, you can create a bank of outfits either on your phone. You can create an album, or members in
I
my
love that
dress
idea.
community have it on their app. And what it means, and I talk about it's similar to those days where you don't know what to cook and you're like, oh
Mm.
God, what am I going to do? Everybody's got a chili recipe in them, a spaghetti bowl, whatever that might be in your home. You've got a bank
Yeah.
of recipes that are a go-to. What I want this style system to do is something similar. So you create this bank of outfits. You take your selfie in your outfits that are a 7 and above, and I can attach the power of 10 visualization so people can go into this a bit deeper to be able
Oh,
to get
excellent.
to those numbers.
I
And
think the
then,
link's in the show notes to
oh,
our episode as
fantastic.
well. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And on your guest profile on the Midlife Unlimited podcast website. Sorry to interrupt.
Amazing. So we can,
As you were.
access the visualization, because that
Yeah.
helps go through it in your own time at your own pace. And by having that then bank of outfits that I say that are a 7 and above, on those days where you're like, oh, I've got a Zoom meeting today, or I'm meeting my friends for lunch, I've got a really important presentation, I'm doing a YouTube video with one of my favorite podcast hosts, what am I going to wear? You can go into your bank, whether that's your phone or the app, and look and go, I loved wearing that. I'm going to wear that today, or I'm going to wear that tomorrow. If you're one step ahead, prep the night before, top tip. And it just allows that stress to leave your body of thinking, oh my God, what am I going to wear today? I've got nothing to wear. I hate this. I hate everything in my wardrobe. You don't. You're currently in that state of panic. So by going back into this style system, knowing then that you've got outfits in your bank that are 7, 8, 9s, 10s are elite. Quite hard to get hold of 10s every day, but there
Yeah.
are a few that exist, as I say, like this top. But having those as your backups for those days where you really do feel stressed and overwhelmed and everything's just too much, and getting dressed is another thing on your to-do
Mm.
list, by using this style system, the power of 10, it helps just take away that emotion, take away that stress, and leaves you getting ready and to get dressed for it with ease and joyfulness. And that's what we want, isn't it? We want to get ready every day, feel good, look good,
Mm.
without stress.
No, that's so true. And as obviously you beautifully share your own midlife metamorphosis journey, your style journey. And it really resonates with me because we were in quite similar situations where it was almost a chore. Getting
Yes.
dressed was like, oh, just one more blinking thing that just didn't feel right. And
Yep.
it was just like hiding behind stuff, just grab it. Oh, just like, do I have? Oh, I can't be bothered. And the transformation is so powerful that the simplest tweaks can make such a big difference. And I say, go and listen to the full length episode because there's some beautiful, beautiful moments and there's some lovely stories about magic wands and tutus and all sorts. Um, not Victoria. Well, maybe.
That could
But
be my
another
show and
thing,
tell.
yeah, another thing. People think, oh, I can't wear that because I wore that the other day. And there is an actual way of saying, well, there's nothing actually wrong with. I mean, I mentioned about wearing outfits on repeat. That's when they're just not doing you any blinking favors. But
Yes.
when something makes you feel good, there's actually nothing wrong with wearing the same thing
Yeah.
2, 3 days, is there?
No, absolutely do it. And I shared this on my stories maybe a week or two ago. I'd worn a jumper, I think maybe 3 times that week. And it was on one of my stories, and I actually put a note underneath it saying, normalize re-wearing your clothes.
Mm.
We don't, even as my role as a identity and style coach isn't to put you in new clothes every single day of the week. It's not about massive shopping hauls. It's not about, reinventing the wheel. It's about wearing the clothes that you've got that you love. Now, there's going to be things that you don't love, and that's fine. But re-wearing the things that you love is just so important. And we've kind of got this consumerism mentality going around, especially now on social media, where everybody shows up, in new things all the time, these massive, great big hauls. Actually, it's doing a disservice to people, like you and I, who are, watching the world in flames with clothing, that there's just too much of it. We don't need to have brand new everything. Your fabulous new coat is testament to that. But if we want something that's going to bring us joy, fabulous, add that into our wardrobe. But if we already have things that we enjoy wearing, wear them. There's no rule on, I've worn this twice this month, or I wore this dress the last time I went for lunch. Yes, because you've paid money for it to wear it. You're not buying something to wear once and throw away. At least I hope we're not. But it is, you're doing yourself and your wardrobe a disservice if you're not wearing the things that you actually love and that actually bring you joy.
And that's another thing about these trends as well. Yes, I mean, I'm not like you. I'm not a fan of the whole fast fashion thing, but trends can be interesting to play around with. But I bet if you think, oh, I mean, obviously mocha was a big thing last season. I think chartreuse is a big, obviously deer print, but
Yeah.
there probably will be. If you think, oh, I fancy experimenting with that trend, either, as you say, go down the pre-loved route, or actually root around in your wardrobe. And I bet there are things in there, like tartan is meant to be really big for spring. I bet you've got a bit of tartan or check that you could actually zhuzh up or play
Yeah.
around with that.
I love the word zhuzh. It's such a great word, isn't it? It's like, yes, feel a bit zhuzhy, but that's sometimes all that you need. I don't necessarily work with trends, but it is
No,
important to kind of see what they are, have fun with them. If it's something that calls to you and is part of your style personality, lean into it. But that doesn't necessarily mean, again, that I'm going to make you go out and buy a whole new wardrobe,
no.
in deer print. We mentioned it. You've managed to find
No,
something
it was
great,
literally,
for
you
example.
didn't tell,
Yeah.
no, I'll be very clear. You didn't say, Kate, go and buy something. I
Oh,
just thought,
no, but we had a
no,
conversation, didn't
yeah.
we, about
And I
trends?
just thought, oh, let's have a bit of fun. I mean, it was less than a tenner. So,
Yeah.
I don't drink anymore. So it's probably, it's my equivalent of buying a bottle of wine. It makes me feel good.
Absolutely. And it is about feeling good. So if there's a trend that you think, oh, I quite like that, I might, add a bit of that in. Like the small neck scarf is a big trend everywhere at the moment. It's not for me personally, because I've got a short neck, so it doesn't work. But on other people, it looks fantastic. And you can get them, ranging from, £2 in a, low end high street to, £350 if you wanted to go higher end. So there's different ways that you can play with trends as well. It doesn't have to always be, a high end price point. It can meet you where you are. But if you can have fun with something, I'm all for the playfulness, the joyfulness of wearing what you love.
Yeah. And you just mentioned, before we share all your details, something again that is a big takeaway from our audio episode. You mentioned, yeah, you like the idea of wearing it, but it's not for you because you've got a shorter neck, and you are passionate, like I am, about not giving a flying about what it says on the label, but about
Absolutely.
knowing your body shape, your body measurements, so that you can actually not do yourself a disservice. You can honor this amazing body that we've got by clothing it, shrouding it in stuff that makes you feel good and actually fit. So you're not thinking constantly. I mean, I've got massive boobs, and that I hate nothing more than feeling that, oh,
Yeah.
just not feeling right.
If you're feeling any type of constriction when you wear something, and that can be down to sizing, it can be down to fabric that you just don't like the feel of on your body, why are we wearing it? Why are we buying it? Why are we paying retailers money for things that we don't actually like just because somebody else is telling us we should buy it because it's on trend, or it's, you know, fashionable to be this and that. And I think that's something that comes with age as well, isn't it? Because teenage me would have absolutely, you know, been more trend led, trend focused. Whereas now I'm more conscious of what I actually like, what I actually want to wear that actually fits my body.
Mm.
And that's why when I work with clients, it's about getting them to understand their body, because even the same size person, whether you're, you know, a 16, 18, 20, whatever that might be, your size isn't going to change when you leave one shop and go into another shop. You know, you don't instantly become a 10 because you've popped next door, but their measurements might put you in something smaller. You know, I have clothing from the same retailer in a small and an extra large,
Yeah,
and they are, you
crazy.
know, the extremes of, you know, sizing limitations. So how can I be the same size in those? And I think if we can learn to understand actually what our body silhouette is, that will
Yeah.
help in every single shop, because it's then not about the label, it's about actually what size fits me. Because as I
Mhm.
say, you know, I'm not going to walk out of Marks and Spencer's into John Lewis and suddenly be 2 sizes different. But if I know what the measurement is, and this is particularly great when shopping online,
Yeah.
even in the same retailer, before you buy something, just check to see what that measurement is, and really try not to focus, if you are label orientated, what that label actually is,
Yeah.
because your size is your size regardless, and your size is the best size that's going to look and importantly feel good on you. Because like you said at the start, you know, you're not going to be
No.
fussing, pulling, moving, you're going to be comfortable, which is going to help you feel style confident in the choices that you are wearing out.
Yeah. I think that's so important, and particularly us amazing midlife ladies and gents out there as well. I think my main takeaway, and I love our conversation, I love fashion. Well, no, I love clothes, I love
Yes.
style, but I think it's all about dressing for who we are now, not who we used to be, not who we will be when we've lost that bit of weight or when this and that, not who we think we should be,
Oh,
not
absolutely
dressing, no,
not.
not dressing because our friend is wearing the same. No, no, it's dressing for us, what makes us feel good, what fits us, what's comfortable, and what's a bit fabulous, isn't it?
Yeah, what's a bit fabulous? Oh, I love that. And that's exactly why, you know, knowing more about your style identity is so beneficial to you,
Mm.
because you can then have all of those things that make you feel a 10, that make you feel fabulous, that make you feel great when you walk out of the door, give you that extra zhuzh and a spring in your step. And again, you know, it's going back to the first question you posed about it being frivolous. It really isn't. It really, really isn't. It's about giving yourself permission to be joyful in what you're wearing. And I think that is so powerful, you know,
Mm.
regardless of age, regardless of gender. Just, yeah, wear things that make you feel fabulous.
Well, I say I'm living proof because I'm feeling all fired up and fabulous just by speaking to you and stroking my new coat. So before we go, I say all your contact details are in the show notes for our episode, available wherever you listen to your podcast and on the Midlife Unlimited podcast website. But can you just let viewers know how they can connect with you? And I said you mentioned the visualization, the links for that are, but just how can we get in touch with Victoria?
So you will be excited to know, and I will, yeah, give myself a little drum roll for this as well. My brand new website will be going live in the next week or two. So come on
Oh,
over and visit me at victoriahamiltonlifestyle.co.uk. Everything about me, my story, what I do is on there. You can also find me on all of the socials, either as Victoria Hamilton Lifestyle on Facebook and LinkedIn, or Victoria Hamilton _lifestyle over on Instagram.
excellent, excellent, excellent. And I'd say come and connect with me. All my links are on the website and in the show notes. Love to have a chat. You can also find out more about my I forgot what it was then, my award-winning one-to-one and group coaching program that is back this spring. Come and join the wait list. And you can find out more about the one-to-one offer I've got on Pop Your Podcast Cherry. Yes, you did hear that right. Oh, and come and join the school community. So all that remains is for me to say thank you, Victoria. I've loved this. I literally could sit here all day chatting to you, but I
I
know
know.
you've got other things to go and do.
We could do like an 8-hour live, just
Oh,
bringing a
yeah, get some
coffee,
sandwiches, bit
yeah.
of hummus.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me on, Kate.
My absolute pleasure. So here's to being fabulous and flourishing together and living midlife unlimited. Thanks, Victoria.